Hi, my name is Samantha Simmonds. I'm a journalist and broadcaster, and I'm talking to you from the BBC Green Room in the depths of the BBC's new broadcasting house near Oxford Circus. I've been a journalist and news presenter for many years now. My love for journalism started when I discovered the joys of writing for my university newspaper. And when I was at Liverpool University, I was studying history and communication studies, and it was actually my dad who suggested I might enjoy journalism because I was a bit gobby and I liked asking questions, and he wasn't wrong. I started writing articles for them, became the newspaper's news editor, and then managed to secure some work experience in my local TV newsroom in Leeds in the summer holidays. And from then on, I had the bug. I absolutely loved the thrill of being in a newsroom and watching a live broadcast program go out on air. And I, at 19, decided that that was really what I wanted to do. At the time, there was no internet, believe it or not, but I managed to find out what was the best path. And for me at the time, it was to go on and study a postgrad in broadcast journalism. They are very competitive to get the places because there are very few around, but I did manage to secure a place at City University's postgraduate broadcast journalism diploma course, which was great. It gave me a real insight into some proper journalism skills that I'd pretty much just been guessing and trying out for the past couple of years while at university. So that was great. And from then on, I went to work for BBC Local Radio up north in Leeds, which is where I'm from, and worked there for a few months before heading off travelling around the world. And then came back and moved down to London, where it took some months to find a job. But I knocked on lots of doors, wrote an awful lot of letters, and then managed to get some work at Channel 5 News as a very, very junior producer. I learned an awful lot of skills there and managed to work my way up from there and became a producer at the BBC not long afterwards on the news channel. But what I really wanted to do was be a reporter. So I made that my goal, did all the shifts that I could, volunteered for anything that I could to put myself forward for, putting myself out at weekends, overnights, on Christmas Day, on New Year's Day. I think the key in this industry is that you have to do whatever it takes. If you really, really want it, you have to be passionate about it. I think that the industry is very different now to when I started. There's actually a lot more opportunity for the likes of you because you can also go out there and broadcast for yourselves on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm sure you all do that, on TikTok, on Twitter. There are so many opportunities to get yourself out there and to do your own journalism. I mean, we're all citizen journalists now, aren't we? But if it's something that you are passionate about, I would start at university. I'd start, again, writing or broadcasting, doing whatever you can for your local either newsroom or for the university paper or radio station. There's so many opportunities now. You can do your own vlogs. It's in your hands to do whatever it is that it takes. I would give you a piece of advice would be that I don't think it's about being famous. I've had over my career lots of people's kids ask me about getting into TV and wanting to be on TV. My goal was to be a journalist. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to find out the truth about what was going on, and I wanted to interview people, and those are things that haven't changed throughout my career. The best part of my job is meeting people and finding out their stories and helping people tell their stories to the world, sharing what's going on in the world. Doing breaking news is something that I really, really love to do. I've been asked about what impact being a woman in my career has, and I would say that the impact that it has are kind of in different areas, but one is when you're young and you're not necessarily thinking about wanting to start a family. It is something that is worth bearing in mind because if you work in news, whether you're on air or behind the scenes, and there's lots and lots of different jobs to explore in journalism, it usually involves doing shifts, and doing shifts usually means antisocial work. And that's, again, something I've done my whole career. I've worked nights, weekends, bank holidays, and it's something that I still do. It's kind of an expected part of it. So you have to go into it being prepared to accept that that is part of the role. And also, if you ever think you want a family, something also to consider. But I think for women, that's just part and parcel of being a woman, about how you would factor that in, how much time you'd want to take off. But it's something that it's hard to imagine until you're actually in it. I've managed to hold down this career and have 3 children. So, it's a juggle. Sometimes it's a struggle, but I think it is in lots of careers. So just something to bear in mind. We get asked about ageism and beauty as well. Obviously, women are held to completely different standards to men. That hasn't changed. But the good news is that you will see a lot more older women, 50 plus, on your screen. So there seems to be far less discrimination. But I think that women still feel that pressure to look a certain way. So I don't, unfortunately, imagine that's going to change anytime soon. It's a wonderful job. It's a wonderful career. I've really loved it and got an awful lot out of it. I love that I do something different every day. I learn something different every day, and I meet different people every day. So it's a never-ending intellectual journey. I feel pushed all the time. I've done lots of different things in my career, not just sitting in front of an auto cue. Interviewing people is obviously a huge part of it. So I have to do the background research into whoever it is that I'm interviewing and make sure that I ask them the challenging questions, and I'm prepared to respond to their answers in an informed way as well. I present politics programs, I've presented on the radio, I've reported out on location for lots of big key events. I've broken some huge stories in my time, perhaps the biggest being the death of Michael Jackson when I was a presenter on Sky News. I covered royal events. I've been down at Buckingham Palace for William and Kate's wedding, for the Queen's 90th birthday. And of course, I was also on air over the period of the morning of Queen Elizabeth's death. So it is never a dull day. I love my job. I love this career. It is a tough one, but it is well worth it. So good luck to you all. And I hope I've informed you on some of the questions that you wanted to know the answers to. Take care.